Hi viewers, you are welcome to ABKM Medics. In today's class, we're going to talk about Introduction to Respiratory System. Respiratory system is one of the systems in human body which have to do with respiration. And we all know respiration is the process of taking in atmospheric air and taking out carbon dioxide from the body. This system is most important part of human body. Reason is because all living organisms cannot do without this system. And for this system to be a system, it has to do with collection of organs. And these organs are known as respiratory tracts. These tracts or organs can be classified based on functional classification and structural classification. If you are to classify based on functional classification, it has to come in two ways, which we have or which include the respiratory zones and conductive zones. Then if you are to classify based on structural classification, it has to do or it includes the upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tracts. Now let's talk about structural classification of this respiratory tract. On the board, this is a schematic diagram of respiratory tracts. In structural classifications of these respiratory tracts, as we've earlier said, is divided into two, where we have the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. The upper respiratory tract begins from the nose, the nasal cavity, the pharynx, the larynx. The upper respiratory tract stops at the level of the larynx. Meanwhile, the lower respiratory tract begins from the trachea, bronchi, and lungs. These are the lower respiratory tract. If we are to talk about the functional classifications of these tracts or structures, meaning a classification based on how it functions, it includes the respiratory zone and the conductive zone. When we are to talk about conductive zone initially, conductive zone, they are the tracts or they are those structures that serve as passageway of air from the atmosphere into the body. Meaning these structures where air passes into the body, and the structures are the nose, the nasal cavity, then to the pharynx, then to the larynx, the trachea, then to the bronchi. These serve as conducting zone. Reason is because it serves as passage of air from the atmosphere into the lungs and from lungs to the atmosphere. That is why it's called the conducting zone. While the respiratory zone, this is the part or structure that serves as a place where exchange of gases take place, meaning exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and basically it happens within the principal organ of respiration, which is called the lungs. You can see from the diagram, inside the lungs there are branches of structure called bronchial. These structures are called, these branches are called bronchial, and the terminal end of this bronchial is the alveoli. The alveoli is a place where the exchange of gases take place, which is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. When we look at it here below, there is a structure called the diaphragm. This is an accessory structure of respiratory system. It plays a vital role when it comes to respiration too. So we're going to stop here for today. When we meet in our next class, we're going to talk more of respiratory system. Before the end of today's class, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABKM Medics. Don't also forget to follow us on our Facebook page, like and share at ABKM Medics, and also our Instagram handle at ABKM Medics. Thank you for watching.